Hello, and welcome to McHenry County College. I'm Sheri Doyel, the director of the Center for Agrarian Learning, and today we are going to share with you an idea and a practice in agriculture, and it's called regenerative agriculture. What's that, you say? Well, there's terms you're probably familiar with, like organic agriculture, sustainable agriculture. It's similar. But regenerative agriculture goes further and does exactly what the name implies. It regenerates. And what it's regenerating is the soil. This idea is something that we are teaching about at McHenry County College in our entrepreneurial agriculture program. In that program, you can take your business ideas with training around growing food and put them to use towards an associate degree or a certificate. And regenerative agriculture is not a new idea, but it is an innovation that feeds people well and also sustains the planet. And here's how it works. Basically, if you think about picking up trash along the side of the road, or when you go camping, you leave the campsite better than it was when you got there, right? The same idea in agriculture, that you farm the land and you grow your food, which does deplete the soil, but then you have practices that feed back into the soil, like cover crops and different things. Here at McHenry County College, we're not planning right now to have animals on campus, but we are teaching about these practices, and we bring speakers in so that the students can learn directly from farmers. Right now, we're going to go to a local farm in Woodstock called Terra Vitae Farms, and they grow or produce grass-fed beef along with other products. And Kevin Kelley is going to tell you about his use of regenerative agriculture practices on his farm.
Hi, my name is Kevin Kelley, and I, along with my wife Katie, my daughter Colleen, and her husband Mike, and their 4 children, operate Terra Vitae Farms. Our farm is located just north of Woodstock on Greenwood Road, and we have about 76 acres that we farm. We raise animals for meat. Our goal is to raise the cleanest meat possible, cleanest food possible for our consumption, and our logo is better for you, better for them, and better for the earth. We practice regenerative agriculture in that we hope to help make the land and our animals better in our grazing and farming practices. We practice rotational grazing for all of our animals. That includes the pigs and the chickens. In fact, over here you see some chicken tractors that we will be using here shortly that will follow these sheep and goats that have been on this pasture for just about 2 days. We'll be moving the sheep and the goats out further on this pasture land and follow on with some broiler chickens that will then be moved every day in a small increment until they're ready to go to processing. We also rotate our cows on pasture, and you'll see a short video of our video clip of us moving the cows out to some new pasture that we've got out on a savanna acre, about 10 acres of savanna land. We got a nice shot of that showing the cows in their drinking area, but you can also see the space where they have been and where they're going to be moving to. So you've seen us move the cows onto this savanna, and we're anxious to see how they help to improve the land. You can already see different areas of where they have grazed and where they're about to go into a paddock area. We separate the area using electric netting fencing, and that's powered by a solar charger to keep it electrified. We move them every few days, but just to make sure that the grass doesn't get grazed down too low, and then move them onto the new pasture, and thus it's better for them, and it's also better for the earth because their droppings and their traffic around helps to regenerate the soil. We'll follow the cows by having the sheep and the goats graze out there as well, and they will eat some different forage. The cows will eat the grass and the honeysuckle, and surely the goats will be eating honeysuckle and other higher forage that helps to, again, improve the whole ecosystem. We also provide the cows with some free choice minerals. You can see in this image here of the box that contains each of these types of minerals. There are a total of 20 different minerals that they have access to. And what we're seeing is they have a need or maybe a deficiency in selenium and phosphorus and cobalt. So they are really consuming those minerals because they have a need for them and they choose which ones that they want to consume. The interesting thing is the animals actually absorb about 50% of this mineral that they consume, and then the rest is then passed on back into the soil through their droppings. So it helps again to put the right minerals back into the soil. You can see a visible difference in the pasture land between 2018 April and this year in April 2020. In the first image, you can see where we were sowing the land by hand. And this is a picture of Michael out there sowing some different pasture seeds and some legumes and brassicas and different grasses and so forth. That we then, as that matured and grew, we then grazed both cows and our sheep and our pigs through this area. You can now see in April of 2020 how well that pasture has been restored. But we also see that there's improved root structure underneath into the soil. And just some anecdotal evidence that we see is that the water penetration into the soil has improved since we first acquired this piece of land in April of 2018. And also, we've been taking measurements to gauge the whole carbon content and soil organic matter that's in there and to see how that improves over time. I hope this short video has helped to explain how we're practicing regenerative agriculture at Terra Vitae Farms. If you'd like to continue the conversation with us, this is our contact information, and we're happy to have that conversation continue with you, and we always love showing off what we do. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Terra Vitae. So if you're interested in ideas like regenerative agriculture, you want to get your hands dirty, you can participate in our entrepreneurial ag program. We're glad you could join us today, and we hope that you eat healthy and stay well.